The language of the soul, a reflection on connection and understanding. In the quiet moments of introspection, we often confront the silent yearning to be truly known. A wise friend once shared a hope that resonates deeply. I hope you'll find someone who is talking your language, so you'll not be forced to translate your soul for an entire lifetime. These words, tender and profound, unravel a universal truth about human connection, the longing to be understood in ways that transcend words, where the essence of who we are is met not with judgment or confusion, but with effortless recognition. The metaphor of translation. To translate one's soul is to endure the exhausting labor of bridging gaps in understanding, is to carry a dictionary of the heart, its pages frayed from constant use. Imagine crafting a poem, only to dissect it line by line for an audience that hears the syllables but not the music. Or, picture this, you clutch a fragile, handwritten letter in a language only you know, each word a heartbeat. When you hand it to another, they squint at the symbols, demanding definitions. What does this mean? They ask, pointing to a phrase stained with tears, so you break it into fragments. This word is the ache of missing someone before they've left. This one is the warmth of a childhood kitchen, the smell of burnt toast, and your mother's laughter. But the ink smudges as you explain, and the longing in sautéed becomes missing someone. The letter, once a symphony, is now a list of footnotes. Translation, here, becomes a metaphor for the emotional toll of explaining our joys, fears, and quirks to those who cannot intuit them. It is the stifled laughter when a joke misses its mark, the deflation of sharing a deeply held belief only to be met with indifference, or the weariness of masking vulnerabilities to fit another's expectations. Every translation risks distortion, a dilution of the self to accommodate another's dialect. This is the labor of translation, a weary archaeologist dusting off relics of your inner world while others peer at them through glass. You become a tour guide in your own mind, narrating the significance of every scar and song lyric, only to watch visitors nod politely and glance at the clock. Over time, you learn to preempt their confusion. You trim the wild edges of your thoughts into tidy sound bites. You laugh at "I'm fine," because I'm drowning in a silence so loud it hums in my bones. Would require too much typing, too much time, speaking the same language. In contrast, finding someone who speaks your language is to encounter a rare harmony. Now imagine handing that same letter to someone who reads it, truly reads it, and their eyes widen in recognition. Instead, they press a hand to their chest and whisper, no questions, no furrowed brows. I've written this too, in my own ink. This connection transcends shared hobbies or opinions. It is an alignment of emotional frequencies. Here, language is not a barrier but a bridge made of shared light. Such relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, are built on mutual empathy, where silence holds as much meaning as speech. Here, a glance can convey solidarity, a sigh can communicate exhaustion, and a smile can radiate joy without explanation. These bonds thrive in the unspoken, inside jokes that need no setup, shared values that require no defense, and wounds that heal simply by being witnessed. In these spaces, authenticity flourishes because the soul is not a foreign text to be decoded, but a familiar story to be embraced. No translation is required. Your silences are not awkward gaps but shared parchment, waiting for the right moment to be filled. Together, you build a dialect of glances, gestures, and half-finished sentences, a language that exists only in the overlap of your souls. The weight of constant translation. The absence of such understanding can leave the heart adrift. In a world saturated with digital chatter and superficial exchanges, many resign themselves to fragmented connections, where masks are worn to avoid the labor of self-exposition. Over time, this performance erodes the spirit. To translate endlessly is to risk losing one's voice altogether, subsisting on half-truths and compartmentalized emotions. The poet Rumi wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Yet, when met with indifference, that oceanic depth is reduced to a trickle, its vastness unnoticed. The hope of being understood. Yet my friend's words are not a lament but a beacon. They remind us that while such connections are rare, they are not mythical. These relationships often emerge unexpectedly, in the friend who finishes your sentences, the partner who names emotions you've yet to articulate, or the kindred spirit who sees your contradictions not as flaws but as facets. These bonds are cultivated through vulnerability and patience, a mutual commitment to learning each other's lexicons. They teach us that understanding is not about perfection but presence, the courage to listen deeply, and the grace to be seen. In the end, my friends, hope is a testament to the beauty of human resilience. We are wired for connection, and the search for someone who speaks our language is, in itself, an act of faith. It is a reminder that while translation may be a temporary necessity, it need not be a lifelong sentence. To find such a person is to discover a sanctuary where the soul can rest, untranslated and unapologetically alive. And perhaps, in being fully seen, we learn to speak the language of our own hearts more fluently too. So here's my question to you: what's the word you're tired of explaining? The one that lives in the hollow of your ribs, untranslatable and aching? Maybe it's time to stop whispering it to people who only speak subtitles. Maybe it's time to wander, hands open, until you find someone who reads your heart like a favorite book, dog-eared pages, margin notes, and all.
Please tell me what you think and how you feel about this issue. Analyze it, brainstorm it, debate it, and if you like it, please share it. Thank you for watching. I truly and highly appreciate you, and God bless you.